Mic check 1 2 3. 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 That chair kind of small. Get another chair. Alright, way better. Alright, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to a late night edition of Under the Lights. And we say good morning to all the people around the state of Louisiana that is joining myself for this recap show. Unfortunately, we could not get the panel tonight at the studio. People had certain things going on across the state. Prayers are still with Mr. Donald that is in the hospital right now, so keep him in your prayers. Mr. Gary, he's doing a Taekwondo tournament in Baton Rouge this weekend. Holden's going to catch up on some sleep. Keith went to the Crackling Festival, and Big Cody's sitting by the fire right now down the road. I know Destin's in Missouri, so you got me tonight. My name is Jordan Taylor. This is Under the Lights, and we are live from my front porch here in Port Barre, Louisiana. So, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta get it when you can. If we got to do it from the front porch, we got to do it from the front porch. But we have scores from around the state to get to. We have upsets all over the 9 brackets. I got sleeping fiance, a sleeping baby inside, so I'm gonna try to keep it down a little bit, but I'm excited about some of these games. I'm excited for high school football. It's the first round, and you had some dandy of some matchups tonight. A lot to talk about. Some upsets, games of the night, helmet stickers to give out. Here's how I think I'm going to do it tonight. I think I'm going to give my best upset in each bracket, the game of the night in each bracket, and also I'm going to give 1, 2, or 3 helmet stickers in each bracket. 9 brackets to get to, little time. I know a lot of people out there want to get some sleep, but we greatly appreciate you for tuning in with us tonight. So 20 people don't want to go to sleep tonight, so come join Under the Lights and let's talk high school football. If you have a question for myself, you can leave it in the comments and I will get to it. If you were at a game tonight and somebody did something good or a team won, leave it in the comments and we're going to talk about that. If you want to talk about a certain game, we're going to try to get to it. So let us know in the comments. Let's chat along here is what I say. And let's get rolling. Once again, hit the like, hit the share button. Thanks everyone for staying up late with us tonight. We had a long road trip down to St. Helena tonight to cover Kinder and St. Helena in the first round. And what a matchup it was. I believe everybody in the state was counting out Kinder tonight. And then Kinder and their fan base just knew they were going to go on the road and win that game. It's something crazy to see whenever you have a passionate fan base and a football team that just for 4 quarters wants to win. it's something to see, and I'm thankful that I got an opportunity to cover it tonight. We're going to talk a little bit more about that game shortly. All right, let's start out in the Class 1A bracket. Not many games here in Class 1A because we had 8 teams on the bye, plus only 24 teams make this 1A bracket. So let's get going. We're going to start off with the 16 seed Arcadia and the 17 seed East Iberville. These two teams battling out tonight. Winner of this one gets the number 1 seed Logansport. And once we're done with the bracket scores, we'll also give you a look into next week's matchups also. All right, Arcadia, East Iberville, what a game it was. This one ends tonight 26-24. Arcadia escapes with a home win tonight. The road does not get easier for Arcadia. They're going to have to go on the road next week, and it's going to be tough competition. We'll talk about that in a minute, but what a win. What a game for Arcadia to win this one 26-24. Wave to the people passing on the road right now, because we are on the front porch tonight at my home. Next up, you had number 9 seed Basile Bearcats against number 24 seed Magnolia School of Excellence. This was a rematch of last year's first round playoff game. These two teams familiar with each other. Like I said, they met last year, and they're gonna meet again in the first round. Basile comes out tonight on their home turf and just flexes their muscles, ladies and gentlemen. It was the Bearcats show from start to finish. Tonight, the Bearcats win 52-14 and move on to the second round of the playoffs. So congratulations to the Basile Bearcats from down the road. We can't wait to see Basile next week. Hey, they win next week, they come back home for the quarters. What else can you ask for? Devin Stott, I see you in the chat. What's going on, brother? Let's see. Next up, we have Block and West St. John. This was a 12-21 matchup. West St. John still proving that they still are reckoning in 1A. They've been around a long time causing havoc, and they tonight handle business at home, beating Block 28-0, shutting out Block. So, next up, we have Oberlin and Plain Dealing. This one right here was a 14-19 matchup. Oberlin and Plain Dealing. It would be all Oberlin Tigers tonight. The Tigers roll 51-0. I hope the Tigers roll tomorrow night. That would be something to see. Go and watch that game in person tomorrow. And then next up, you had Northwood Lena and Gaydon. This one was 20-14. Northwood Lena escapes at home. Gaydon gave them all they could ask for tonight. Almost pulled off the upset, but Northwood Lena at home, they get it done 20-14. So that rounds out our 1A matchups that we covered on Wednesday night's show. All right, let's go into our pick for upset of the night. Our pick for upset of the night would have to be, oh, I forgot one. East Beauregard beat Maryville 50-40. High scoring game there. East Beauregard wins tonight. Upset of the night, I mean, you look at the bracket here and you ain't really got no upsets in the first round in Class 1A. So we're going to have to skip that one for now. We got some upsets in these higher brackets. So let's go games of the night. Games of the night, in my opinion, you have to give it to Arcadia over East Iberville. Arcadia squeaking out a 26-24 victory. That is your game of the night in the Class 1A bracket. So congratulations to Arcadia. Then we go helmet stickers of the night. And I have a helmet sticker to give to Basile Bearcats, ladies and gentlemen. The Basile Bearcats steamroll Magnolia tonight. They get my helmet sticker in Class 1A. So congratulations to the Basel Bearcats in Class 1A. We take a look into the future. Here's your second round matchups in Class 1A. Next week, it will be the number 1 seed Logansport against the number 16 seed Arcadia. You got the number 8 seed Delta Charter against the number 9 seed Basel. You got the number 5 seed Slaughter Community Charter against the number 12 seed West St. John. You got the 4 seed Oak Grove against the 13 seed East Beauregard. Next week you got 3 seed Grand Lake and 14 seed Oberlin meeting in a rematch. This one was decided by 7 points in the regular season. You got Haynesville at 6 taking on Lincoln Prep at 11 next week. Then you got LaSalle at 7 taking on White Castle at 10. That should be a dandy of a matchup. And then rounding out 1A, you got 2 seed Homer versus 15 seed Northwood Lena. Should be some great 1A matchups next week. We can't wait for the second round in Class 1A. Alright folks, moving along, we have helmet stickers, upsets, and games of the night to talk about after we get through these scores. Let's talk Class 2A football games that we covered on Wednesday night. If you want me to go through every score, we can. It might take a little bit more time, but if that's what you want, that's what you'll get. So let me know, or we could just cover what we covered on Wednesday night. Start off with Pine and East Feliciana. 16-17 seed here. The road team goes on the road. And we've seen a trend of that tonight. The road team going on the road winning tonight. We're going to start out with East Feliciana down in Pine on the road 55-35. Next up, it was Rayville and Red River. This one would be Red River from the jump. Red River showing why they're so explosive and scoring 40 points a game. Tonight they get it done 48-16 over Rayville. And then you had Rose Pine. The Kentwood, the Rouge were coming into town trying to upset Rose Pine tonight. But you had Rose Pine and that talented quarterback at home tonight winning 35-0. So you must have something special over there when you can shut out the Rouge. Not many teams can shut out the Rouge. Next up, big win here for DeQuincy, ladies and gentlemen. What a win. I just know that fan base is extremely proud right now. I just know it. They get it done at Port Allen. This was a 12-21 seed going at it tonight, and the Quincy Tigers go on the road tonight and take down the Port Allen Pelicans 44-22. What a win for that program. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Big congratulations goes out there to Mr. Daniel and Mr. Jake from the Quincy. Next up, you had Avoyelles and Bunkie, a 4 seed and a 29 seed. This was a rematch from the regular season. Avoyelles, bad taste in their mouth. They come back with a vengeance. They come back with a vengeance tonight, and they take down Bunkie just like they did in the regular season. Avoyelles looks like they're ready to make a run here in this 2A bracket. They get it done 42-7. So big bounce back week for Avoyelles. Then you had Welsh and South Plaquemines. This was a 14 and a 19 seed going at it tonight. But Welsh Greyhounds going on the road to South Plaquemines tonight and knocking off South Plaquemines. Final score, 23-13. Holy upset we go. And they got a plenty of them tonight. So congratulations to Welsh for going on the road and moving on to the second round. Then you have Winfield taking down Delcom tonight, 13-20. Winfield gets it done 30-13. Jonesboro Hodge takes down the 26 seed Oakdale tonight. Jonesboro Hodge was the 7. They take them down 42-20. So Jonesboro Hodge gets it done at home tonight. Then we have Franklin and D'Arbonne Woods Charter. Franklin, too much at home tonight. They roll in big way tonight. How about Franklin? 54-7 over D'Arbonne Woods Charter. They shut me up for sure because I picked D'Arbonne to win this one, and I got fooled big time. You know which game we did not get fooled on? It was that Loreauville and West St. Mary game. The Loreauville Tigers shut out West St. Mary after a rematch from the regular season. Tonight, the Tigers roll 49-0. So Loreauville looks like they're ready to make a little push, but they're going to have to go on the road next week. And final game we're covering here tonight in 2A, it was St. Helena and Kinder. 11 seed St. Helena, 22 seed Kinder. Who gave this Kinder team a shot to go into St. Helena and win this game? Everybody in Kinder gave them a shot, but nobody across the state did. I know I picked them on Wednesday night, and what a game it was. It came down to a 2-point conversion late. It came down to a game-sealing interception, and it came down to a Fawcett first down. What a night for the Kinder Yellow Jackets, and congratulations to Coach Fusler, that coaching staff, and that entire football team and fan base for getting it done on the road tonight. Moving on to the second round. Congratulations once again. All right, we move on to upset of the night. In this bracket, who had the upset of the night? Folks, I take a look at it, and you have to give it to, it's down to 2 teams here I could give it to. And I'm going to have to give it to DeQuincy over Port Allen. DeQuincy over Port Allen, 21 taking down the 12 on the road tonight. And a pretty good Port Allen football team. They take them down in a lopsided score here. So DeQuincy earns my upset of the night. So congratulations to DeQuincy on that game. Then we take a look, and we take a look at games of the night. You take a look at games of the night, and which game of the night would it be? Without a question, it has to be St. Helena and Kinder earns Class 2A game of the night with a 22-20 victory. So congratulations to the Kinder Yellow Jackets for earning game of the night in Class 2A. And then you have helmet stickers. I'm going to give you 3 helmet stickers in Class 2A. I'm going to start off with the DeQuincy Tigers. Going on the road, they earn an Under the Lights helmet sticker. I'm going to go and say Kinder Yellow Jackets earn a helmet sticker. Big road win. Big upset. And then I'm going to give my 3rd helmet sticker of the night to Welsh Greyhounds going on the road also. So 3 teams right there earn helmet stickers. Congratulations to all 3 teams. We move along and we check out the second round matchups. Who will travel next week? Who will host the second round? We find out right now. The number 1 seed Manny Tigers will be at home. Will be on the road next week and take on the 17 seed East Feliciana. So Manny hitting the road a lot sooner than what they probably projected. So that game will be played in East Feliciana between the 1 seed and the 17 seed next week in the second round. And then you look at the 8-9 matchup next week. You got the 8 seed Rose Pine hosting the 9 seed Red River. What a game this is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Do you love offense? Because you're going to get it in this one. 8-9 with a chance to go to the quarterfinals. Holy cow. It's going to be a dandy. I can't wait for Rose Pine and Red River. I can't wait to pick it next Wednesday. It will be a Rose Pine home game. And then we check out. We have a 5 seed going against a 21 seed in the second round. Ladies and gentlemen, North Caddo and DeQuincy will meet up in the second round. This will be a home game for DeQuincy. So North Caddo has to take the trip down to DeQuincy. I know that place is going to be rocking next Friday night. It's going to be a party in DeQuincy when these two teams meet up. Holy cow, it's going to be fun. Good luck to DeQuincy. Good luck to North Caddo. May the best team win on the field. But I just know that place is going to be rocking. So that's a 5 and 21 meeting up next week in the second round. And then we take a look at our next matchup in Class 2A second round. It will be Avoyelles and Winfield meeting up. 4 seed versus 13 seed. This will be a home game for Avoyelles. Avoyelles, road to the Dome, has to go through Winfield next week. So, Avoyelles Mustangs will be at home back to back weeks. So, Avoyelles, Winfield next week. Get ready for it. Here's an interesting matchup here. General Trask has the 3 seed. They took care of business tonight, but they're going to have to hit the road next week and take on the Welsh Greyhounds. This is going to be a 3 seed versus a 19 seed next week. General Trask and Welsh meeting down in Welsh. It's going to take Welsh's best game, but at Greyhound Stadium, anything can happen. So a 3 seed and a 19 seed next week meeting up in the second round. We told you we had some upsets, ladies and gentlemen. You're seeing them unveil right in front of your eyes. How about the 6 seed A-Meet Warriors? Gonna have to hit the road, come all the way down to Yellow Jacket Country, because the Kinder Yellow Jackets, ranked 22 in the state, will take on A-Meet at John C. Buck Stadium in Kinder, Louisiana. You might have standing room only next week when Kinder and A-Meet meet up. Should be fun football there. Winner of this one heads to the quarters. Can't wait for this one next week. Final 2 games to look at in Class 2A. And it will be Jonesboro Hodge, ranked number 7, against number 10 seed Mangum. This will be a home game for Jonesboro Hodge. You like offense? You got it. Tune in for this one next week. And then we look at the 2 seed Loreauville Tigers. They're going to have to hit the road next Friday, and a lot sooner than they thought they would be. They're going to have to hit the road. Correct. They're going to be at home. Loreauville will be at home next week against Franklin. No upset there. Franklin won big tonight. So Loreauville and Franklin in a rematch next week at Loreauville. Sorry about that, folks. So that is a look at Class 2A. Let's take a look at Class 3A now. Upsets, games of the night, and helmet stickers to give out. A look into the future. And we check out scores. Folks, I tell you what, the temperature dropped outside because it's getting kind of chilly. But let's take a look at 3A. How about Westlake going on the road tonight, taking down the 16 seed Grant in blowout fashion. Westlake gets it done 45-22 tonight over Grant. 17 takes down the 16. Next up, you had Madison Prep and Kaplan. Kaplan had to go to the defending state champs' house out the gate. Tough draw for any team in this 3A bracket. And tonight, it would be too much Madison Prep Chargers as they roll 40-6 in this one. You take a look at Church Point. The Battling Bears have been doing it week in and week out. They flex their muscle one more week. When you get into week 11 and you can put your offense on the field and click on all cylinders, you're going to be a force to reckon with. The Church Point Bears take down Marksville tonight. That was a 5 versus 28. They take them down 49-6. Here's an upset for you, ladies and gentlemen. Donaldsonville takes down Patterson after losing to Patterson in the regular season. So these two teams meet back up in the playoffs, and Donaldsonville gets their revenge tonight. Final score, Donaldsonville 48, Patterson 14. Next up, you had Jules Sumner coming in at ranked 13, West Feliciana coming in at 20. Who saw this one coming? 38-0. West Feliciana shuts out Jules Sumner at Jules Sumner tonight. So the road team pretty much blows out the home team and shuts them out tonight. What a win for West Feliciana Saints tonight. 38-0. You shift gears and you talk some Iowa football. A really good football team in this Iowa football team. Would they be tested here in the first round when Bossier came into town? No, sir, they would not. Iowa, too strong at home. Still got a bad taste in their mouth from that district title game a couple weeks ago. And they get it done. 37-6 over Bossier. Iowa moving on in the bracket. We talked about this next one. Wednesday night at the pick show. We said 3 seed St. Martinville, 30 seed McDonough 35. Wow, do they match up well. Both sides of the field, they match up well. But tonight, St. Martinville was hearing the noise all week. McDonough 35 can upset. McDonough 35 can pull the upset. I even said it one time, maybe they could pull the upset. But tonight, St. Martinville wanted a statement win. They got it. St. Martinville at home tonight. DeVille, they defend their home turf in big fashion, proving why they are a top 3 seed in this 3A bracket. Final score 47-6. St. Martinville rolls tonight. But your next matchup, it was Brusly and Iota. If you saw this one coming, somebody let me know in the chat, because Iota, as the 19 seed, goes on the road tonight to the 14 seed Brusly and knocks off Brusly 17-7. Holy special teams. There's still special teams in high school football. Ladies and gentlemen, Brusly, one of the top defenses in the state, cannot get it done at home tonight in front of a packed house. They fall to the Iota Bulldogs 17-7. What an upset. This next one, I said it for weeks. I said round 1, I was going to pick Jennings to win. That's a scary team. I did not see HEN going down without a fight. I did not see HEN going down without a fight in these playoffs. But I didn't expect Bogalusa to do what they did tonight. 11 seed Bogalusa, 22 seed Jennings. Final score, Bogalusa rolls at home 58-26. Bogalusa, ladies and gentlemen, has put out a big number and they roll into the second round. HEN's final game as a Jennings Bulldog. Where will he play college football next season? It's going to be interesting to see where he falls. Devin Staub, any ideas where HEN is heading? Could he follow in his brother's footsteps and head on down to Clemson? We did not cover this game on the pick show the other night, but Lutcher and Carroll, that was a 6 seed and 27 seed, almost pulled an upset tonight. 27 seed falls 31-27, so Lutcher by that much survive at home. Next up, you had 15 seed ERAV and 18 seed Wasserman. Wasserman goes on the road and takes down the Bobcats tonight, 34-29. Wasserman gets it done, and they will be setting up a huge matchup next week. Holy cow. Well, we got to talk about these matchups in a second, but Wasserman, what a win. Going to ERAV tonight and getting a hell of a finish. And then you have Abbeville and Richwood. We saw it in the newspapers. They said this Richwood team was a scary team for this Abbeville team to play in the first round. But let me tell you something. Abbeville proved tonight that they are a force to reckon with in this 3A brackets. Not enough people are talking about the 2 seed, and they silence a lot of critics tonight with a big home win, 53-22. How about Abbeville Wildcats at home tonight? Congratulations to the Wildcats from under the lights. Who's commenting from under the lights? I'm sure that's not Holly. She was sleeping a few minutes ago. And let's talk St. James for a second. I see Troy in the chat. St. James gets it done tonight, 34-20 over North Webster. So congratulations to Troy's team for tonight's win. All right. Time to give upsets of the night. Let's take a look at this bracket in 3A and see if we have some upsets of the night. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. We got 3, ladies and gentlemen. 3 upsets to talk about tonight, and we have to pick one. All right. Upset of the night in Class 3A bracket, brought to you by myself because I'm sitting outside freezing, giving you a recap show at 1 in the morning because everybody probably just leaving the Crackling Festival and they just want to enjoy some high school football talk. All right, upset of the night has to go to, drum roll, I say you gotta give it to Iota going down to Bruley and taking down Bruley tonight. That is your upset of the night in the Class 3A bracket. You can agree, you can disagree. It's all fun. It's all for the love of it. But I say Iota gets the upset of the night in the Class 3A bracket. We take a look at games of the night. I scanned through the bracket right here. Let's see if I can narrow it down to one game. And I can. It's going to be game of the night. Honors go to ERAF and Wasserman. Wasserman taking down ERAF tonight, 34-29. So Wasserman earns game of the night and Class 3A bracket. So congratulations to the Wasserman football team. All right, helmet stickers to give out tonight. Let's see how many I can give for tonight. All right, I got 1. I got 2, and okay, yeah, let's go there. First helmet sticker of the night goes to Abbeville, the Wildcats, silencing the critics. We saw it in the newspapers. Richwood can pull the upset. They match up well. Richwood is this, Richwood is that. Coach Moy and that Abbeville football team said, hold my beer and let's cut up at Abbeville High School tonight. So Abbeville gets a helmet sticker. Your next helmet sticker goes to the Iota Bulldogs with a huge road win tonight. Congratulations to the Iota Bulldogs. And your final helmet sticker has to go to West Feliciana. You win the game 38-0. You go on the road and shut out the home team and beat them by 38. How can you not give West Feliciana a helmet sticker tonight? So that is my 3 helmet stickers for Class 3A bracket. All right, folks. We talked about upset of the night. We talked about a game of the night, and we gave 3 helmet stickers. Let's take a look into the future and the second round. And let me tell you something, folks. This 3A bracket is the best bracket I've seen in recent years. They got some talent. They got some loaded matchups. I can't wait to talk about these matchups next Wednesday night. But let's take a look into the future. What's the question about Iota? Before I go any further? All right, we'll get back to it. All right, your matchups next week. How about the number 1 seed, Sterlington? They're going to have to travel, and they're going to have to go a long ways next week, all the way down to Westlake, Louisiana. Westlake is the 17 seed. They get the home playoff game next week as they welcome in Sterlington. Next week at home, 1 versus 17 down in Westlake. Should be a packed house. Westlake, I know they travel well. I know they're going to pack that stadium. They're going to try to pull the upset next week. Best of luck to Westlake. They got to play a really good Sterlington football team, though. Next matchup. What a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Put the pin down on this one. Troy, you listening? What a matchup. You got the 8 seed, Madison Prep. You got the 9 seed, St. James. This is, on paper, this is what a state championship game looks like. And you get it in the second round. You got recruits. You got D1 talent all over the field next Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. St. James and Madison Prep, it just doesn't get any better than that. I'm sad to see it in the second round and somebody have to go home so early. But we get great football early in the playoffs. And what can you ask for? It's going to be a good atmosphere, a good matchup. It's going to be heck of a football game next week when 8 seed Madison Prep and 9 seed St. James clash. Next week, Church Point Battling Bears will hit the road and head down to Donaldsonville, Louisiana. You know why they hit the road? Because Donaldsonville upset Patterson tonight. So we have us, a 5 seed and a 21 seed in week 12 of the second round of the playoffs. 5 versus 21 at Donaldsonville. The Battling Bears hit the road. Can't wait to see Church Point and Donaldsonville next week, ladies and gentlemen. And then you have Iowa. This is Stephen Miller's team. Iowa is going to be the 4 seed, expecting They was expecting Jules Sumner to win tonight. West Feliciana says not so fast. Y'all are coming down to us next week. So Iowa at 4. West Feliciana at 20. This will be a home playoff game for the Saints. And Iowa comes rolling into town for a 4 versus 20 matchup at West Feliciana. You think that place is going to be packed out? You better believe it, ladies and gentlemen. You better believe it. Next up, you have another team traveling in Class 3A. How many teams are hitting the road for the second round that is ranked in the top 5 that we are looking at right now? Take a look at St. Martinville coming in at 3. St. Martinville has to hit the road next week and head down to Iota, Louisiana, to take on the 19 seed Bulldogs. And let me tell you something about the Bulldogs. You talking about a fan base that loves their football? It is Iota. You talk about a fan base that's not going to have standing room only? It is Iota. You better get there early. You better get your popcorn. It's going to be 3A football at its best. It's going to be a semifinal atmosphere next week when St. Martinville and Iota meet up in the second round. 19 versus 3. Can't wait for it. Am I getting a little dramatic here, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody let me know in the chat if I need to calm the hell down. I'm just pumped for the second round. Can't wait until next Friday. Here's a team that does not have to travel next week. Lutcher Bulldogs will be at home next week to take on the 11 seed Bogalusa. Lutcher scared tonight. Bogalusa rolled tonight. What's going to happen next week when Lutcher and Bogalusa meet? I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued to find out what's going to happen next week when these two teams meet up, because of the scare tonight from Lutcher and the blowout tonight from Bogalusa. Can't wait. 6 versus 11. Here's another team that does not have to travel next week. You got the 7 seed Union Parish Farmers. I think I said that right. That's their mascot, right? Against the 10 seed Gina Giants. This is a 7 seed, 10 seed with a shot to head to the quarterfinals. You want to be in the quarterfinals? You got to get your team up for big time matchups. Because when you say big time matchups, I mention Union Parish and I mention Gina. That's a big time matchup next week in the second round. 7 and 10 meeting on the gridiron. Somebody has to win that one. I might have woke up the neighbors, ladies and gentlemen. There went the lights over there. They're turning on. Let's see if they come outside and start yelling. Remember, I am on the porch right now giving you a recap show. I think we're in the clear for now. Let's keep rolling. Next up, you have the 2 seed Abbeville. Abbeville Wildcats has to hit the road next week. So Abbeville thought they was going to be at home. Could ERAF take care of business tonight to give Abbeville back-to-back home games? But Wassman goes on the road tonight to set up a home game next week. So you will have the 2 seed Abbeville Wildcats and the 18 seed Wassman. This game will be played at Wassman. Can Abbeville go on the road next week and take down a talented Wassman football team? 2 seed, 18 seed meeting up in the second round down in Wassman. We'll find out if Abbeville can get it done on the road. We saw them get it done on the road quite a few times this year. Can they do it one more time to set up a quarterfinal at home? So that is your look at Class 3A. We're going to have ammonia in the morning. Then I got fall pictures in the morning. Me, Espen, and Holly going to take some fall pictures. And then I go on to the LSU game. So we might as well go to the LSU game sick, right? What else you got better to do besides enjoy the recap show? You right, Troy. That's the best statement I've seen in a long time. All right, moving along to Class 4A. Class 4A, we got some helmet stickers to give out. We have a upset of the night to give out. And also we have a game of the night to talk about. All right, let's start out in Class 4A. Y'all got a heater I can borrow? All right, Edna Car and Breaux Bridge meeting in the first round. This one was close in the first half. We were wondering what the hell was going on when we saw some of these scores in the first half. But like Edna Car doing Edna Car things, and they roll in the second half big tonight, ending Breaux Bridge's season. Final score, the Cougars move on 43-8. Your next matchup will be who gets a shot at Edna Car. Tough draw for either team. 16 seed Eunice, 17 seed DeRidder. Folks, I made a bad pick here. Everybody else went Eunice, and Bonehead over here behind the camera went DeRidder. Yep, lay into me. Lay into me. Let me hear it. Because the Eunice Bobcats, I should have knew. I should have knew they were playing their best football late in the season. The Bobcats knocked out DeRidder tonight, 41-14. What a home win for this Bobcat team. They've turned it on late. We did not cover this game Wednesday night, but I would like to talk about it anyway. 9 seed George Washington Carver and 24 seed Landry Walker met up tonight, and the final score was 17-14. George Washington Carver avoids a scare tonight over Landry Walker. We did not cover this game either, but I want to talk about it because it's an upset. Holy upset. Down goes Salmon. 8 seed falls to 25 seed Plaquemine tonight, 41-27. What a win for Plaquemine. All right, getting back to some locals here. 5 seed Westgate takes on 28 seed John F. Kennedy tonight. Westgate rolls tonight 26-6. Moving on to the second round of the playoffs. So congratulations. How about another upset, ladies and gentlemen? Down goes rain. North DeSoto takes care of business on the road tonight. The 20 seed knocks off the 13 seed 34-16. Big win for North DeSoto. That chilly win. Next up, we covered this game. 11 seed Bell Chase and 22 seed Estrama. Running back could not do nothing in this one. They get shut out. Bell Chase rolls at home 41-0. Y'all slow down. How about Cecilia? the 7 seed against the 26 seed Beauchamp. This was a rematch from district, and this would be similar results tonight. The Cecilia Bulldogs roll into the second round. I heard they got their starting quarterback back this week. They win tonight 42-3, ladies and gentlemen. How about another game here to talk about? Carencro and Bel Air. The 18 seed Carencro Golden Bears against the 15 seed Bel Air, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Y'all want to know what the Carencro Golden Bears did tonight? Well, let me tell you what the Carencro Golden Bears did tonight. They only hung 71 points up tonight. It's not basketball season yet, Carencro. And you're hanging up 71? Carencro goes on the road and takes down Bel Air 71-20. You got another week of football, Carencro. And final game from the locals. What a win for I'm kind of cold. Jimmy Zachary and that Opelousas High coaching staff, fan base, and football team. They go on the road tonight, knock out South Lafourche. Final score, the 19 seed takes down the 14 seed 57-42. So congratulations to the Opelousas Tigers getting it done on the road. All right, let's take a look at upset of the night. You got a couple to pick from. Whew. And let's take a look. Okay. We did not cover this game, but this is going to be my upset of the night, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you agree with me. Upset of the night goes to Plaquemine, taking down Salmon tonight. Final score was 41-27, and Plaquemine was the 25 seed, taking down the 8 seed tonight. That is your upset of the night in Class 4A bracket. We take a look at games of the night. Which game of the night that sticks out to you the most when you're looking at some of these scores? Which game was close? Which game would have been on your seat type of game? I look through these scores and only one sticks out to me. You got to give game of the night to George Washington Carver over Landry Walker. The 9 seed took down the 24 seed in a close game, 17-14 tonight. So, game of the night goes to George Washington Carver. Whew. Time to give helmet stickers out for Class 4A. And we will start out with the Carencro Golden Bears. When you hang 71 up on the road, you get my attention. And you get my helmet sticker. The Golden Bears, you earn the first golden sticker tonight. Your second golden sticker. Is that what we do? What do we do? I done lost my train of thought. I'm giving that helmet stickers. I'm giving golden stickers out. I'm thinking about the Golden Bears. Y'all forgive me. Your second helmet sticker of the night goes to the Opelousas Tigers. Going on the road and getting it done. Somebody let me know in the chat when's the last time OHS has won a first round playoff game. Should be a great stat right there, but they're going to get my helmet sticker of the night. And your final helmet sticker of the night, it has to go to Eunice. Eunice, big win tonight at home. Abbeville's final score was 53-22. Abbeville beat Richwood. And my last helmet sticker went to Eunice Bobcats. Getting it done late in the season, clicking on all cylinders, and they defend home turf. Got to give it to the Bobcats tonight. 2005. I knew it was a long gap, so thank you for that. So Eunice, OHS, and Karen Crow all get the helmet stickers for tonight. So congratulations to those three teams heading into the second round. Let's take a look into the future. We have some good matchups in the second round. Let's find out who's traveling, who's hosting, and what are the seeds that's going to meet up. We're going to start off with the 1 seed Edna Carr versus the 16 seed Eunice Bobcats. This will be down in New Orleans, so the Bobcats have to hit the road in this one. Can the Bobcats pull off a miracle next week? We will wait and find out. Next up, you have George Washington Carver as the 9 seed. They're going to have to hit the road and take on the Green Devils next week as this is one of our higher seeds that have won this week, the 25 seed Plaquemine. So 9 versus 25 next week at Plaquemine High School. George Washington Carver and Plaquemine. Then you have 5 seed Westgate hosting 12 seed Leesville next week. So Westgate back-to-back home games. So best of luck to Westgate trying to move into the quarters next week. And then you have Northwood Shreveport as the 4 seed. They're going to have to hit the road and go all the way to North DeSoto and take on the 20 seed North DeSoto. So 4 versus 20 next Friday night at North DeSoto. Then you have 3 seed Warren Easton. They're going to have to come all the way down to Opelousas, Louisiana to take on the Opelousas Tigers at Donald Gardner Stadium. This is going to be 3 versus 19 in the second round. And can you imagine the atmosphere next week at, I want to say Tiger Stadium, but Donald Gardner Stadium, as Opelousas will host Warren Easton. Then you have Belle Chase at number 11. They're gonna take on 6 seed Huntington. This will be a home game for Huntington. So Belle Chase and Huntington meeting up next week. Then you have Cecilia coming in at rank number 7. They get their quarterback healthy. He's back. They're going to have Lakeshore coming in, though. A team that is not shy of scoring points. So you have 2 great offenses meeting next week as Cecilia and Lakeshore meet up in the second round for a 7-10 matchup. And then you have 2 seed Neville. Ladies and gentlemen, Neville has to come all the way down to Karen Crow, Louisiana. Where they got to go? They got to go to exit 4 and take on the Golden Bears as the 18 seed will host the 2 seed in front of a great crowd in the second round of the playoffs. And can Karen Crow get it done? I'm not sure. That's why you play the game. Neville. This is a heck of a Neville football team, folks. They're really, really good. It's going to take Karen Crow's best shot next week. But that is your look into Class 4A. All right, we done made our way all the way to Class 5A. We're freezing over here. It is, what time is it? It's almost 2 in the morning, and you are staying strong with Under the Lights tonight. We had a great win tonight that we got to witness between Kinder and St. Helena. Kinder knocked off St. Helena in upset fashion, and we got to cover that one. We're already up to almost 4,000 views in that game, so it was a great night in all. So now we move up to 5A. Give me a little swig. I have to take some NyQuil after this one. All right, Zachary comes into the state 5A playoffs as the number 1 ranked team. They would host Slidell tonight, have no problems with Slidell as they take down them 36-0. Shut out a Slidell team that I thought would score some points. I didn't think they would win, but I thought they would score some points. So hats off to Coach Brew's defense over there at Zachary. This game was played Thursday night. It was Southside and East Ascension. What a game it was for, I say, 3.5 quarters. And then Southside, huge fumble late. And then another fumble on the next possession. And East Ascension just pulled away with back-to-back touchdowns. And East Ascension gets the win on the road, 42-26. So Zach, I ain't going to say it right now. We're going to talk about it in a minute. So East Ascension gets it done on the road. We did not cover this game Wednesday night, but I thought it would be nice to talk about it. 9 seed West Monroe, 24 seed North Shore. Who thought North Shore would take West Monroe down to the wire? I found out 37-30. West Monroe survives in double overtime tonight. What a game. What a win. Holy cow. You almost had an upset of the freaking state tonight. We did not cover this game either, but I thought it'd be nice to talk about it. 8 seed Chalmette and 25 seed Houghton met up tonight. Chalmette survives by 1 point. They take down Houghton 21-20 tonight. Then you have 12 seed Benton, 21 seed Hahnville. How good is this Benton football team actually? Well, they would be tested here in the first round. Hahnville, tons of tradition over there. Tons of talented football teams. But Hahnville could not get it done. They would push Benton to their limits tonight. But Benton gets it done at home, 38-31. So congratulations to that Benton football team. I tell you what, is this Woodlawn of Baton Rouge football team the real deal or what? You knock off Catholic of Baton Rouge earlier this season, and then you knock off and then you knock off a really talented Natchitoches Central football team tonight with a final score of 42-14. Keep an eye out on this Woodlawn of Baton Rouge team moving forward. They can make some noise. Next up is Ponchatoula and Lafayette. Can the Lions get an upset tonight? Ponchatoula with that talented Division I commits on their team say no, sir, they cannot. Final score, Ponchatoula 45, Lafayette 6. Ponchatoula rolls into the second round. About John Ehret taking down East Jefferson tonight. 43-26. 14 takes down 19. Wichita Parish and Sulphur meeting up in the first round. 11 versus 22 tonight. Wichita Parish too strong. Looks like they were too fast, and it looks like they were too physical in this one tonight. 40 to 7. Wichita Parish takes down Sulphur tonight. Holy upset on the next one. These two teams met back in the regular season, and this score was reversed. Central took care of business in the regular season, taking down Denham Springs. But when you get to the playoffs, you can throw out the records. You could throw out the history. Because when you get in the playoffs, you're 0-0, and it is may the best team win. Well, tonight, Denham Springs coming in as the 27 seed, knock off the 6 seed Central of Baton Rouge, 42-14. We have a new leader for the highest upset of the night. How about that win for Denham Springs? Folks, we love Acadiana Wrecking Rams on this Under the Lights football show. The Wrecking Rams, tough non-district schedule they played. Got into district, they cruised. The talk all week was, can Acadiana slow down Dutchtown's running back? Well, can we reverse that one and say, can Dutchtown slow down Acadiana's running backs tonight? And we take a look at the score here and take a look at it, and they couldn't. Acadiana Wrecking Rams say it is playoff time. It is the Terrible Turks, and it is fear the veer. When in doubt, don't pick against Acadiana, because at this time of the year, the Wrecking Rams are hitting on all cylinders. 7 seed Acadiana, 26 seed Dutchtown. Final score, Acadiana 43, Dutchtown 14. Congratulations to the Wrecking Rams. A road to a three-peat lives on another week. Can you call this next one an upset when you have an 18 takedown of 15? A lot of people, beginning of the season, midway through the season, we're kind of saying this Alexandria football team is going to win the state title. And then they ran into a roadblock. But they still somehow managed to pull off a home game tonight. So you know Alexandria was rocking. Parkway, it has been 3 to 5 years since they've made the playoffs. But tonight, Parkway finally back in the playoffs. Goes on the road. They play inspired, and their offense gets it done. 41-27 on the road. So a big win for Parkway tonight. All right, let's take a look at our upset of the night. Folks, you look at the scores, and there's one game that sticks out to you for upset of the night in this Class 5A bracket. We just talked about it. It's Denham Springs over Central of Baton Rouge. How can you not pick it for upset of the night? Because you have a 27 taking down a 6 tonight. It's easy. That's an easy pick for upset of the night. Congratulations to Denham Springs. You look at games of the night. I look at these scores, and if I have to narrow it down to one, I might have to give you 2. Uh-oh. The baby's up. Did I wake him? Did I wake him? Whoops. It must be feeding time. I have to narrow it down to 2. Games of the night, number 1 goes to West Monroe over North Shore in double overtime. And your second game of the night goes to Chalmette over Halton 21-20. So that is your games of the night tonight. And we do helmet stickers. We're giving away 3. Who's going to get those lucky 3 helmet stickers? How about we start off with the Acadiana Wrecking Rams getting the first helmet sticker of the night. And then we head on to our second helmet sticker of the night. You got to give it to Denham Springs. Huge upset tonight. And your final helmet sticker of the night, it has to go to Woodlawn of Baton Rouge. Where has this team come from, and are they the team that can knock off some of these top seeds moving forward in this bracket? Keep an eye out on this Woodlawn of Baton Rouge football team. All right, take a look into the future of the second round of the 5A playoffs. Number 1, Zachary will hit the road next week. They will not be at home. They're going to go to East Ascension and take on the 17 seed East Ascension. You talk about a fan base and a student section that East Ascension has. That place is going to be rocking. Can they knock off number 1 next week? We'll see. That's all we can say. We'll see. Next week you have West Monroe as the 9 seed. They're going to hit the road and go all the way down to Chalmette to take on the 8 seed. 8 versus 9 with a trip to the quarter. Chalmette, West Monroe. We'll see you in the second round next week. And then you have Ruston and Benton meeting in the second round. 5 versus 12. Should be an interesting matchup here. A lot of offense. Whose defense will rise for this one? And then Woodlawn of Baton Rouge, we just talked about them. They're going to hit the road and take on Destrehan. Destrehan is a 4 seed. Woodlawn of Baton Rouge is a 13 seed. If they knock off Destrehan next week, they are the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. Keep a close eye on that score when you're following scores from around the state next week. Ponchatoula will get a home game next week against John Ehret, 3 versus 14. You have a Wichita Parish will have to travel to Denham Springs next week. So 11 seed or Wichita Parish takes on 27 seed Denham Springs next week. So high seeds there. Acadiana Wrecking Rams coming in as the 7 seed. They take on the 10 seed Santa Mont next week. So Santa Mont and Acadiana. You have offense versus defense next week. Can't wait for that one. And final game, Captain Shreve will hit the road and take on Parkway next week. 2 versus 18 next week. So Captain Shreve and Parkway meeting in the second round. The score of the Sulphur game was 40-7. Wichita Parish beats Sulphur. All right, we head to Division 1, folks. Let's take a look at some of these scores. And once we get into the private brackets, it will roll a little bit faster and we can get the hell out of here and let everybody go to sleep, enjoy the rest of their night, and move along into Saturday. 8 seed St. Aug beat Archbishop Shaw Thursday night 52-14. Archbishop Rummel and Brother Martin met out on the gridiron tonight. 11 seed Brother Martin takes down 6 seed Rummel 38-16. And John Curtis on Thursday night takes down Holy Cross 54-14. So we look at games of the night tonight, and you really don't have one. You look at upsets of the night. Can you call Brother Martin an upset over Archbishop Rummel? Because these seeds would not be these seeds without the forfeits. So you can't really call an upset. You can't really call a game of the night because all 3 were blowouts. But we can give a helmet sticker. We can give a helmet sticker, and let's give it to Brother Martin. Going on the road tonight, taking down Rummel in dominant fashion. Adversity has struck for that program, but they are resilient and they look like they're ready to run the gauntlet. So we will see if they can. So gave it to Brother Martin. All right, a look into Division 1 next week. And the Division 1 playoffs are in the quarterfinals. All right, take a look. 1 seed Catholic of Baton Rouge will take on 8 seed St. Aug next week. You got 5 seed St. Paul's taking on 4 seed Scotlandville next week. You got 3 seed Bird against 11 seed Brother Martin. And then you got 2 seed Jesuit against 7 seed John Curtis. You got some good football in Division 1 next week. Every higher seed we just named will be the home team next week. So a trip to the semis is on the line. Which 4 teams will punch their ticket to the semis? We will find out next week. But that is your matchups for next week. Take a look at Division 2. Tonight, 8 seed Parkview Baptist took on 9 seed St. Michael. Parkview Baptist gets it done 21-7. St. Thomas More and the Walker Howard Show is back in full gear as St. Thomas More Cougars knock out Evangel tonight 56-12. Liberty Magnet takes down Archbishop Hannon tonight 40-28. LaLoya Prep shuts out Haynes Academy 41-0. Vanderbilt Catholic rolls over St. Louis tonight 35-18. And De La Salle goes on the road to take down the 7 seed Turlings Catholic 34-3. So that is some big time wins for some big time teams. Let's give out upset of the night. It goes to De La Salle. De La Salle, 10 seed, takes down the 7 seed tonight, so they earn upset of the night. Games of the night, you have to give it to Parkview Baptist and St. Michael. Close game there. And your helmet stickers of the night, you got to give it to St. Thomas More and Walker Howard. What a story for that young man. Coming back last week, and back-to-back weeks, his team scored 55 plus. So they earn my helmet sticker tonight. And we look at next week's matchups. Division 2 quarterfinals. 1 seed E.D. White will take on 8 seed Parkview Baptist in the quarters. 4 seed Liberty Magnet takes on 5 seed St. Thomas More. So the Cougars are going to have to hit the road next week to go take on Liberty Magnet. You got the 3 seed LaLoya Prep versus the 6 seed Vanderbilt Catholic next week. And also you have University Lab as the 2 seed versus 10 seed De La Salle. Some great matchups next week in Division 2. Division 3. Only had 3 games played tonight, so let's talk about them. Ascension Episcopal knocks out Catholic of New Iberia tonight 34-6. Dunham knocks off Holy Savior Menor tonight 55-3. And St. Thomas Aquinas knocks out Pope John Paul 33-3. So 3 blowouts in the Division 3 playoffs. So no upsets of the night go in that. But, and you look at it, no games of the night because everything was blowouts. So let's give out a helmet sticker. Your helmet sticker goes to Ascension Episcopal, the Blue Gators, tonight. Jesus Christ. Let's take a look into next week's matchups. LCA, Ascension Episcopal, 1 seed versus 8 seed next week. You got the Knights and the Blue Gators. Should be a packed house. Should be some fun. Can the Blue Gators knock off the Knights? We will find out next week. Also, You got Episcopal as a 4 seed. You got Newman as a 5 seed. Can Arch Manning go on the road and take down an undefeated Episcopal football team next week in the quarters to stamp their ticket into the semis? You're going to have to tune in to Under the Lights next week to find out. You got 3 seed St. Charles taking on 6 seed Dunham. St. Charles, one of the better defenses in the state of Louisiana. So we will see if their defense can prevail them into the semis. And then you have 2 seed Notre Dame against 7 seed St. Thomas Aquinas. Pios back in action after a bye week. They get St. Thomas Aquinas in the quarters next week. So that is your look at Division 3. Final bracket, ladies and gentlemen. 9 brackets we had to cover, and we're down to the final one. It is the Division 4 playoffs. And we're going to start off with the 1 seed Ouachita Christian and the 16 seed Cedar Creek. This game was tied 7-7 at halftime, and then it looks like Ouachita Christian pulled away in the second half in a big way. Final score, the 1 seed moves on 35-7. Jesus Christ, 56-yard field goal. How about 9 seed Ascension Catholic going on the road to knock off 8 seed Central Catholic 41-36. And then you had a rematch between the 5 seed Sacred Heart Trojans and the 12 seed St. Ed's Blue Jays. We talked about this on the show Wednesday night. I thought this one would be more competitive this go round, and was I right? Tonight, Sacred Heart gets it done at home, 19-13, to move on to the quarterfinals. How about your defending state champs, Calvary Baptist, taking on an athletic, good football team that sits at 8-2 in the year, coming in at 13th. Hamilton Christian. Calvary Baptist tonight hang 70 up and take down Hamilton Christian 70-12. Calvary Baptist trying to go repeat, ladies and gentlemen. How about an upset tonight? 3 seed Opelousas Catholic falls tonight at home to 14 seed St. Frederick's. Final score was 14-8. St. Frederick's goes on the road to get it done. What a game this next one was. 6 seed Vermilion Catholic, 11 seed Catholic Appointed. This is just fun football to watch. This is fun football to cover. Final score, the Screaming Eagles survive at home, 37-36. Heck of a run for the Hornets. Almost pulled off a huge upset tonight. How about another upset, folks? 10 seed Country Day goes on the road to knock off 7 seed St. Mary's tonight in blowout fashion. 47-7 was the final score. And then final game in Division 4. Southern Lab has no problems tonight with Hanson Memorial. They win this one 56-0. All right, upset of the night. It has to go to St. Frederick's over Opelousas Catholic. A 14 seed taking down a 3 seed earns upset of the night. Games of the night, no brainer here. It goes to Vermilion Catholic over Catholic Appointed tonight, 37-36 victory. And your helmet stickers for tonight, let's give them out. We're going to start off with Vermilion Catholic with a classic of a win. They earn a helmet sticker. Then we're going to give one to St. Frederick's, big road win tonight. And then your final helmet sticker goes to Country Day, going on the road and getting an upset win tonight. So that is your week. That is your week 11 scores. Let's take a look at next week's matchups in the Division 4, and we will close this one out. We're going to start off with the 1 seed Ouachita Christian taking on the 9 seed Ascension Catholic in the quarterfinals next week. Also, you have 4-seed Calvary Baptist against 5-seed Sacred Heart Trojans. You got the 14-seed St. Frederick against the 6-seed Vermilion Catholic. You got the 10-seed Metairie Park Country Day against the 2-seed Southern Lab. Division 4 heating up to have a heck of a finish. So that is your matchups from the second round next week. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in with myself tonight. It's been a pleasure to bring you the recap show tonight from my house, sitting on the front porch tonight. And we can't wait to do it again next week. Next week, we will let you know where we're heading. We have our weekly picks show on Wednesday night, so if you want to tune in and join in on the fun and join in on the picks, we'd love to have you. Next Friday night, we should have some outstanding second round matchups and some quarterfinal matchups, and the road to the Dome, the road to Tulane, and the road to UL continue. The field was at 204 teams. After tonight, the field has been cut in half, and there are only 112 teams remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at 112 teams remaining. At the end of this baby, there will be only 9. Which 9 will host that trophy high in the sky on the final playing date? We have to stick it out and enjoy these next few weeks of football. But for now, we sign off for week 11 of the first round of the playoffs, and we've had some good ones. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We say go Tigers for tomorrow night, because that's where I'm going. I'm going call in Baton Rouge, and I'm going try to get me some tailgate food, and we're going to try to keep the Golden Boot in Baton Rouge. One last time, ladies and gentlemen, from myself, Jordan Taylor, thank you for everything and tuning in tonight. Enjoy the rest of your night. We will see you Wednesday night. Have a good one, folks.